It's the DLO show.
In the DLO show. This the DLO show. Yo. Okay, just in case you ain't know, this the DL show. Trying to non-passion park entertainment.
I was in it for the long run. Fell in love with the world.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the David Lopez Show. I'm excited to be back for episode 3. We have Azmattic this week, so that's exciting. I have to rush this and be really quick because my girlfriend's watching Game of Thrones, so I had to sneak this intro in before we get back to another episode. People might get mad at me knowing that I don't really watch Game of Thrones. I have only watched the episodes that she has, that I've caught while she's watching. So I'm not a throne head, but it's cool. I respect it. I watch it. I just haven't really got into it, so don't get mad at me. Long story short, actually no story short, we're gonna move on. The episode. Azmattic's here. One issue that we did have is for some reason the video cut off, so we cut off like the last 10 minutes of our conversation. I want to say we got like 20 minutes, and there's some fun stuff in there. We were able to talk a little bit. I'm a little upset about cutting off that last like 10 to 12 minutes, whatever it was, because we got some good, cool stuff in there about music and other stuff. But we're gonna have him back on. Like I said, he's a friend of the show, so he'll be back on. I did his podcast like 2 weeks ago, so make sure you go check that out. It's called the Ill-Advised and Unprepared Podcast. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Soundcloud, and check out episode 23. That's the episode I was on, and check out the show. It's a good show. So we had a fun time with him. Otherwise, we got some fun segments coming up. If you're watching this on the day it comes out, I'll be in Iowa City the day after, so that's Thursday. So I'm really excited about that. And then this upcoming Sunday, we got the toy drive. I'll plug another ad in there for it. But if you're in Chicago, Sunday, December 10th, come hang out for a good cause. I'll do a full set. It's gonna be fun, and it's free if you donate a toy. If not, it's only $5 at the door. It's gonna be a fun show. Speaking of fun show, this is gonna be a fun show. So enjoy episode 3. Sunday, December 10th, we're back with the 3rd annual Passion Park Toy Drive. Come celebrate the holidays with us at the Elbow Room at 7 p.m. Entry is just $5 or free with a toy donation. Come celebrate with live music and cheap drinks. And we're back! Well, I can't use that. I want to use the funny. Here we go. What's up, everybody? I am in a much happier mood than I was about 30 seconds ago because I got a very important announcement to make. Suffered a cold, but I just yawned and popped my ear. What? Or my ear pop, or however you say that. You know what I mean. I don't know. But it felt amazing. You know what I'm talking about. But only one of them. I'm still waiting on one yawn for this other ear. So where you at? I need that. Anyways, so what I'm going to do right now in this segment is going to be the first of a 3-week segment we're going to kind of do. Not back and forth, but there will be 3 different ones of these. I'm going to go through episode 1 of our web series, So Much More, and kind of just give some like director's notes. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I took out some clips kind of. I'll be showing them right here. Yeah, we're just gonna just kind of go through it. I'm just gonna give like some director's notes and hopefully give you some insight into what I was thinking and why we put that together. Me, really, I don't want to lump anybody in who knows how to be in that creative part, but other people did help. A lot of people helped. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you some notes. Hopefully you'll check it out if you haven't after this, and if you have, this will just give you a better idea of what I was thinking.
So much more, so much more, so much more, so much more, so much more.
So just briefly, if you haven't seen if you haven't seen any of it, you should check it out. But if you haven't seen the trailer, like if you've watched episodes 1, 2, and 3, but you haven't watched the trailer might help wrap some stuff together. Because the trailer, I called it a trailer because it is a teaser kind of the season, but it serves as a separate portion in itself. It's almost like a mini episode that just has like a narrative part that gives you an idea into David's mindset. The character David, not me, which is kind of me. It's like a fictional version of myself, kind of. So yeah, that's what this is portraying, and that helps give you a little insight. I think it gives a little more validity or backbone or whatever to the idea of Delilah. So Delilah is a character played by Eileen Hertz in the whole season, but she comes alive. I mean, you see her in the trailer, and you get an idea in David where he goes, I don't know if she's real or not. That is really the whole overlying premise of that. And her character, she's supposed to be a mysterious character, and I think she played that very well. So thank you to her for all her great participation. She was also an assistant producer on the project, so she helped a bunch. Our IMDb page, is up and running and looks great because of her. So thank you, Eileen, for all the wonderful help. So that was brief on that. So let's go through. So episode 1 starts with me and the guys. First off, there's the B-roll shots of, if you're from Rogers Park, you know what those B-roll shots are. Candlelight and Mark II, those bars right there on like a Howard and Western. That's the neighborhood. So that was definitely purposely shot. I was trying to give a little shout out back to where I'm from and whatnot. So shout out to them. Shout out to Mark II for letting us shoot there. Tony, we appreciate you. We might, do some more work. Anyway, so the episode starts with us out back, me and the guys. So Amir plays Trip. Plays JR. Sweet. Austin plays himself. He kept the character name for that. And then we have Kevin playing Duke. So that's Kevin Smith. You'll meet all those guys. I'm gonna try to have them all on here, hopefully for full interviews. But anyways, so those guys, us, the 4 of us. Sorry, I just had like a momentary this weed is hitting me. God damn it. So we're in the back hanging out talking, and there's some fun stuff that goes through. The main point, Kevin breaks my balls about wanting to go home to Harmony. Harmony is my girlfriend in the show. So that's an idea that you want to know. But the real line that really was supposed to bring this scene together, and what mattered to me was Tripp's line. JR's line. Well, that's the character, of course. I'm just see these guys, I know them. But you guys, they're the character. So JR's line that says, "The brighter the lights, the darker the shadows."
The brighter the lights, darker the shadows.
So that is an important line, because that's the idea of that kind of brings Delilah into the story, and so that's important because it's season 1 really has a lot of metaphorical stuff to it. I mean, I wrote it a while ago to go with the album, and that's where I was at with things. And a lot of times I write to like a metaphorical figure. I think a lot of people do. You can call it music, you can call it whatever you're writing to, whatever industry it is, but that definitely goes in there. I don't want to define it just as that, because there's a lot of ideas that go into it. But a simple way for you guys to think about it is that, so he's introducing that, saying the brighter the lights, the darker the shadows, because really in this episode, it's called the anniversary because we're going back to celebrate the anniversary of his project, So Much More, which gave him success and brought the brighter lights, which we tried to show as best as we could with the amount of extras we could and the budget we had. Doing some indie stuff over here. But we made it work. Shout out to all those extras who did come out for those party scenes. But that's what it's supposed to exemplify, is the brighter the lights. But he's still going through some stuff because the darker the shadows. So that quote really rings through the whole season, kind of. It was a bigger line for me, and I'm glad JR delivered it right there. That was on purpose. He's the wise guy. So then, as I was saying, I hit Delilah, or she hits me, grabs me, takes me away. And so the whole kidnapping part, me getting my my ass whooped, it hurts to watch. If you haven't seen the bloopers, you should see the bloopers, because those really happened, by the way. There wasn't me. I didn't have a stunt though, I know you that. But we didn't fabricate those. Those really happened. She slapped the shit out of me. Second time, by the way, if you know any of my career, if you've seen the Lonely Days music video, that slap in that video, also real. So I've been out here doing my own stunts. It's really not a stunt. I've been taking my own hits. Maybe I just feel like I deserve them. Okay. I don't know. Alright, that's psychology class. Anyways, so
that kidnapping is really supposed to show his struggle with dealing with any form of success, and clearly he must feel compromised in some regard. So Austin gives this great speech at the anniversary party, talking about, giving a toast to David and from where he came from the year before, because this year is supposed to this year did a lot of things for him. Obviously we didn't show all that, but we were trying to show that quickly, bring everybody up to speed like that. And so the toast means a lot to David, but it's hard for him to really accept it because of everything he's going through. And we see that when he comes back and Austin makes the toast and David is all over the place. Because we're reminded, or he's reminded, that he had to compromise in some way to get where he is at this moment. It's something that a lot of people always are worried about. I'm not always are worried about, but especially in this industry, it's something that could say is like, you want to compromise yourself, you want to lose yourself, and that's really what he's dealing with at this moment. So that's how we started off, basically introducing you to the idea of Delilah and her serving as this metaphorical fear and just figure that is looming over David throughout the whole season. But that was just episode 1, really. Quick little synopsis there. Shout out to North Bar, Jim over there, for letting us use the bar for that scene where Austin gives me the toast. Shout out to all the extras, like I said, all the extras who came out. Harmony, who plays my girlfriend Ashley. We kind of skipped over that scene, but it's really brief where I just wake her up. The idea of that, I should have said this, I'm sorry. I'm jumping all over the place. But the idea that she says, hey stranger, it's supposed to quick up to speed. We don't see each other that much, because of the busy year that he's had with the lifestyle, with the success that Delilah helped him get. So I still want to leave some things up to your own imagination, but I know I probably explained a lot there. And I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't, please check it out. It was a really kind of adventurous project for me. Definitely the first time I've directed something, the first script I've brought to life. I've written some other things, but obviously, kind of unpolished and not perfect, of course. It's my first thing, but I'm really, really proud of the fact that we got it done. Made it work. Shout out to Nick, everybody who helped shoot on it, Mike Marucci, everybody who did help. We're going to keep going though, so I'm going to do episode 2 and episode 3 in the next coming weeks. I'm not going to wrap it up and give all the thank yous yet, but just know that everybody's appreciated, and this was something I really wanted to do. If there's something you really want to do, it's possible, I think, especially now in this industry is so, like I said in that first episode, be thankful if you're an artist that we can even use YouTube and SoundCloud and have all this stuff. Like, man, I had to go through that this week. Like, I was kind of like feeling negative about time, and then I'm thinking in my head, you know what? If I would have told myself 6 years ago that I could still be rapping, I mean, of course, I was planning on it, but that I would still be, and I would have made a web series, I would have done this stuff, I would have been cool with that. So I need to remember to be happy and grateful that I could do that this time, and you need to be grateful that you can. And if you're not doing it, do it. Try to be yourself. Find your shit. That's my motivational speech. I don't know why I just Tony Robbins it up right there. But yeah, anyways, thank you for tuning in. We gonna keep the show rolling. Bye.
Iowa City! Don't miss a chance to see me perform in your town Thursday, December 7th. I'll be hitting the stage at Gabe's. Show starts at 6, tickets are just $5. I'll be there along with Austin Fillmore, Varsity, RPM, and plenty more.
Yeah, how long have you guys been, we're just starting whatever. So
Yeah, cool.
How long have you guys been doing that podcast?
We're on 23 episodes.
23.
So it's like, we try to do like one once a week, but never.
Who's yeah, once a week. That's what I'm trying to do right now. It's it just started obviously, but
You're
it's
on your
kind
pace,
of
though.
like, yeah, I know. What's another reason I want to get ahead? Like I want to get interviews in and then pound them out. But yeah, whose idea was it?
Ruben's, my buddy Ruben. He was just like, he's a funny dude. He just gets going on rants and shit. So I had the one microphone from rapping, and then I was like, I obviously know how to do a little bit of editing and recording and stuff like that. So he was like, yeah, let's do a podcast, man. Let's do a podcast. And we tried it just me and him first. And it was okay. It just didn't I don't know. We felt like we needed one more person to add to it. So then we added Cole. And then then like now that we've like got that flow, we did like probably 10 or 11 episodes where it was just us kind of trying to get it, and now we get guests on.
I like I like both, because that's the nice thing about having a co-host is you can just do like an episode without a guest. And you're pretty much fine.
And that's what we do. So a lot of times, if like somebody ends up bailing or whatever.
The Ill-Advised and Unprepared podcast, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Look at that. See, I know the name. You should check it out.
He was the last guest.
Yeah, I was on it.
Episode 23.
Episode 20. The Jordan episode. Yeah. Check out the Jordan episode. I was on that. I had a blast. It was a fun time.
It was a good time.
So I couldn't stay for that last.
No, it's all good, man. Yeah. You had a hoop?
Yeah, dude. Oh, so that's what I was gonna say. So it wasn't that it was that bad. Is that I hadn't played in. You know what it is like, first off, I hadn't played in a while, and then second off, the court, like. My shoes are probably a little slippery, but they're not that bad. But like the court was pretty slippery. Yeah. So it was like one of those games where like I don't ever felt like I accelerated. Like I don't ever felt like I actually sprinted once in that game. Like I was just running around. Like I would shoot. The only jump shot I made the whole game was the last shot of the entire game. It was like a half quarter. I knew I was gonna make it to. I'm like I'm gonna miss all these and then get this one. But when I got there, we were already up 17-0.
That's nice.
No pressure.
Yeah.
I had no pressure on myself to perform. So it was, so it was good. So hopefully that goes a little.
Did you guys win by like?
We won by like 30 or something. It was never a game.
It's never fun to play like that all the time, but every once in a while, one of those games.
It was good because I wasn't ready. Like that, and
it's your first game back.
The Truly
waters.
It's just had one on the way to the game. Oh, that was good. Yeah. Well, you're
shout out to Truly.
Yeah, shout out to Truly. They're trying to get the sponsorship. I'm gonna endorse that as well. I did enjoy it. Truly was dope. It was good. It tastes like you're getting hydrated, but there's just a little booze in there.
Yep,
a little booze in there.
Sneak up on you.
Right. You're still staying in shape, because you still are doing athletic stuff, right?
Yeah, coaching, stuff.
That's that's staying in the realm of it.
No, and then hooping when I can. On Sundays.
So I didn't do a formal introduction, but this is Azmattic. There will be an intro. I'll give
you're good with all this
full spiel on there. Thank you. But so we know each other through basketball. Originally, that was. Wow, I would say I was probably like 16, so it was like 06. That was like a while. Yeah, it was Nothing But Net, AAU days. Shout out to everybody who was on Nothing But Net. Yeah, Chuck. Everybody on there. So but it's so funny because like how this even came about.
I was actually thinking about that.
Full circle.
Over here, man.
I vaguely remember. So before I asked actually how it happened, what I vaguely remember is, so my freshman year of college. Because we both went to college to play. But I'm a year older than you, I think.
I think 2.
2 years older than you? Yeah, that makes sense. Because I graduated.
Oh, wait, right?
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
So I was a freshman, or then I must have been like a sophomore then, or whatever you got into college. I remember seeing you went to Milligan. I went to Elmhurst my freshman year. So like I knew, obviously conference, so I knew it. I played Milligan. And then somehow, some way, something popped up that you rap, but it was like I had no idea that you made any music.
Yeah.
So was that a thing that had you always? When did you start? When did you start making music?
So kind of like once the college basketball route didn't work out, then that's when I started up.
So after basketball.
Well, I like wrote for fun, in high school. I never thought I was good enough, Like,
but you did actually like work on music and stuff.
I never recorded anything.
No.
I never. Yeah, it was all writing.
Like
it was just like
songs?
write. Yeah, it was shitty songs, terrible. But I would just like write to a beat that I liked if I did it, and it was more so a hobby type thing. And then.
But you would do it serious. I was saying like I know a lot of people that started. Myself too. Like where we would do like parodies, like funny.
Oh,
parodies
right. Yeah. I was trying to be good.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be.
But that's an important step because dude, anybody you're gonna suck in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, like you're not gonna be that good. I wasn't, but. The step of actually trying is like the step because like it's so easy to like make music and say, well, I'm just fucking around, so it doesn't. No, it's me, dude. I got to blind off here. Because it's so easy to mess around and just be like, because then you have the fallback clutch of like, well, I was never really trying.
Right. Yeah.
What do you mean? We're just making a funny song. It doesn't matter. But I think once you turn on that notch of like, well, I'm gonna try. So like you were trying, but you weren't like you were trying. Like you knew you wanted to be good, but you also knew like I'm not like. Going after it.
Yeah. It was just like written, never really told anybody about it. Maybe would break it out like
really
in a freestyle, like drunk or something like that. It would be like a written,
There
like
it is.
throw like it was a freestyle, but it was never like.
You mean every rap freestyle that's out now? Not every, but a lot. Most. Yeah. I mean, I do it too. I can't.
Yeah. No. So, but yeah, man. Then once the basketball thing, like. fell through after my sophomore year, which I remember hitting you up actually, like because I remember you going to Elmer's. I thought you still went to Elmer's. I hit you up when I went there, and I was like, yo man, like I play at Milliken, like we'll see each other, and you're like, no, I'm at Concordia now. But yeah, so then once as you know, playing, it's a lot of time. Basketball practices all the time, and
it's a job.
Even out of season, and so like once I quit that, I ended on like really bad terms with basketball.
Really?
And I just didn't want any part of it. So I had like a giant space in my life, that needed to be filled. And so I just started rapping, and then coincidentally, popular music started to become shittier and shittier. In my opinion, So like the more I was listening to popular rap, I was like, I think that what I'm writing is getting to be as good as this. Now I think it's as good as it. Now I think it's better than it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start to actually try to do it.
Yeah, well, that's great because, I can totally relate to that. We talked about that last week, and that was actually the first thing I wrote that I wanted to bring up was the same, just the sports stuff. I think we might have touched on it a little bit in the podcast, was the sports to entertainment thing in general. But we'll even take that out for now. I'll just leave it as the like void to void thing, kind of basically, like, because like
filling it with something.
You played ball your whole life. I played ball my whole life. That like literally is it was
everything.
Yeah, it's like you don't really. I mean, you go to school. The reason you go to school
is I had no idea what I was going to major in or anything like that. It was like I want to try to further my basketball career. Maybe I can do really well and play overseas or something. It was like that's all it was.
Definitely a thought in my mind. I'm sure a lot of young players' mind. It really doesn't matter where you play at, what division you play at.
Yeah.
If you're playing in college, like you're spending a lot of your time doing it and dedicated to it, and you gotta love it. But then it inevitably, unless you're playing in the NBA or you're LeBron James, it's going to come to an end. Or you can make a career overseas.
Play overseas. You can do something, but it only lasts so long.
Right. In general, with everything, I guess you can only go so far with it. But you have to fill that gap, and also it's like sports and basketball are like playing a game, like hitting a three or like getting a dope crossover or something like that. It's like. That's like a high that's hard to replace.
I think you were about to say dunk, but then you realized that you didn't get any dunks.
I didn't. I also didn't want to over.
I never had a dunk.
I can touch the rim here and there.
Don't worry.
No. Yeah.
But yes, no. It's there's a cool feeling to it.
Yeah, it is almost like a high. You lose yourself in that kind of, which is I'm assuming is just what music ended up doing for you, kind of like
absolutely
feeling that.
Mm-hmm.
So were you a big just like fill up a notebook kind of guy?
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah, man. That was, just writing. I still write in a notebook. That's I like that aspect of it. I like the actual physical.
I always remember seeing,
writing it.
I think the Tupac documentary, Resurrection, and well, of course they weren't writing on iPhones back then anyway.
No, right.
But I always remember him writing a notebook, and then somebody else was talking about it, and it was like, notebooks make sense, man. It's different. Yeah.
Well, also for me, when I write. Because I've written certain songs on iPhones, especially I sit in a lot of traffic. In the car, I'll write. If something comes to me, I'll start writing on the iPhone. But I have little cues in my notebooks, for certain things. If I'm trying to hit a flow a certain way, I'll have arrows or something, stuff that iPhones don't do, or you don't have a pause, within it, where it's just so much easier for me when I'm actually recording it, to see through the notebook.
Is that when do you generally write to the beats or do you not? Okay. So that's interesting. Okay, so you're writing to the beat, and your flow's gonna change, and you make a note in there. You know the note.
Unless it's super obvious, but for me, while I'm trying to get it, if I keep fucking up on it or something like that, then it's just like a little pause or some sign or something like that, or a little arrow to make it you're not taking a breath in between here. You're going.
That's dope.
And then that just gets me to get that path.
That's the coach. That's the coaching.
Yeah.
That's like writing a play. Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen anybody do that, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it just helps you get going.
Yeah. That's dope. So speaking of that, stylistically, your music, it definitely has that old school, 90s. Which
I'm going for.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it sounds like you're going for that, right?
Yeah.
That kind of boom bap.
Yeah.
Well, that's my shit too. Yeah. I toy with that, bounce a little back and forth, but I'm with you on that. So, with that being said, then who were the guys that you listened to growing up that really influenced this style?
Who?
Besides the big names. Let's think of somebody that who was your favorite artist?
Well, growing up, my favorite artist, just as a kid, was Eminem. That was my favorite guy growing up. when I got like into high school, I would say like that's when I started to kind of like get into like trying to find other people, like previous people and stuff like that. A group for me that like I really liked like right from the get-go was A Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, and it was just like that was just like a really like right when I saw them I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is what hip hop is.
They got nominated for a Grammy, didn't they?
Yeah. Jurassic 5 also was another really big one where I my cousin, shout out to Katie, who made me a CD when I was really young, and it was like a Jurassic 5 mixed CD.
Really?
And I was like, I loved that from a very early age. Like I was like, this is so cool. I like the aspect of MCs playing back and forth with each other and passing the beat on. I think that's so cool. It's with 5 of them, you know, and they could all flow, and it was just like, it was great.
Did you ever want to get in like a group? Like it sounds like you know you have.
I wanted
that
to.
Wu-Tang style, like
definitely. But everybody's like doing solo stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about
vibe now,
having a group, I feel like, is knowing everybody's work ethic and how everybody works, and it's so different. Like, and if they're your friends, you don't want to ruin that. Like, it gets weird. I can see how that can happen. Oh man, what was I gonna say? Oh, but those groups all make sense with listening to you. Like for sure. Like, and beat selection. That's something I was gonna talk to you about. Are there a couple producers that you work with usually, or like, and so they just know like we're gonna go throwback style with this?
Yeah.
Like,
well, the shout out to Jadi, who is a guy.
He's the one to do piano therapy.
Yeah, he's done most of my tracks. He did the music video Shiki no Uda.
Oh yeah.
He's probably done like 60% of my tracks, which is obviously the majority. But then there's nobody even close to that after that. It's been like 1 or 2 producers here and there.
Mix. But that's good to have somebody you work with.
So yeah, man, he's great. Don't know who I've never. It's weird, like I made a lot of songs with him. I've never met him.
Oh,
shit,
really?
What he looks like. He lives in Amsterdam. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny because I was having this. I wish I would have recorded this conversation I had the other day with a friend of mine, and we were talking about. So he's a musician, like a traditional musician. He plays guitars, he plays the banjo, he plays like everything. He's the one who was playing the tune in the background of the other episode, the Austin Fillmore episode. But anyways, long story short, he's trying to understand the concept of like a lot of rappers who I was like, you gotta understand in the hip hop community, a lot of times we haven't met the producer sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, just with the way it is nowadays, that's not always the case.
That's weird coming from a band standpoint where you're right there with everybody,
it's completely abnormal for them. You couldn't even understand the concept because it's like they don't even write the record unless they have worked on the tune themselves and everything, and worked on every instrument. And it's like, so, yeah, we just write the beat, what I mean? Like, it's a different thing, but it's also like we use way more words than like.
I definitely say that like hip hop done right is the most intricate as far as lyrics go. I don't think there's anything that really comes close.
I don't think so either.
People are gonna argue, but.
Well, there's intricacies in other aspects of music, obviously, with instruments, and all that stuff, and just like the layers, and the mix. Oh my God, what goes into mixing and not mastering as much, but mixing, like what goes into that stuff. It's a whole, you could do, such long talks on that, and obviously people go to school for that shit. But I'm with you because that was kind of my response. Was like, I get it, but like. First off, a lot of the guys, me personally, I don't have a music background. I don't know if did you ever play an instrument?
No.
Yeah. I never did.
Couldn't pass the recorder test, man.
What? No, I remember playing the recorder in grade school. I do remember that. I had an interest in playing the drums once, but my mom was like, "Get out of here with that."
Yeah, I want to play the drums too.
Get out of here with that shit. So I never had but I was always really interested in music.
Yeah.
Well, did you listen to other genres growing up, or was it
mostly hip hop?
Yeah.
Being around like parents, you listen to their stuff. My dad was like a giant like funk guy. Also like Prince, stuff like that. Yeah. So like I was always listening to that growing up. And now I like it. At the time I didn't like it like growing up.
I think that's grown people music.
Yeah, that's exactly
grown people music.
That and just like respecting your parents and everything. Like growing up, you're like, man, this was my dad's jam back in the day, and like you listen to it, and you're like, all right, cool, okay.
Yes.
So, but man, funny. It was like literally all hip hop. Just more so recently, I've kind of started to branch out and listen to more stuff. Yeah. And that's just being more into music. I think I'm appreciating other genres.
Yeah, I think that comes with that. But I think I did a round. I don't even know where I went with that. But the point was, we use a lot of fucking words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not always, and depending on but I think in our style, I'm lumping myself in with you because I at least try to have that similar style and with a lot of my music. There's a lot more.
Lyrics meaning something.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, some of the stuff that we think doesn't mean stuff means something to somebody else.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't like to hate on too much.
No, there's that whole debate going on right now, if like between mumble rap and real rap.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's just like a constant. But
there's room for it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
There's room for it. Yeah.
And I think that comes with growing too, because definitely in the beginning, like you said, you're listening to popular music and you're like, yo, I'm better than this shit. Like, that's a feeling that we all, I think we all could pretty much relate to that in a lot of stuff, not just music. But I think it comes a time where it's like now I don't really even want to disparage other art unless I think it's just like very, very disrespectful or like something that's not helpful. You're putting something bad out into the world. But like I'm not gonna like you're doing your thing. Especially, dude, you get a song on the radio. You know how hard it is to do that.
Yeah,
Just to even get that. Of course, unless you're what is everybody talking about? A label.
Just
a label
mainstream?
puppet? Yeah, no, a label puppet. Everybody's going around with that. But I mean, unless you're that. But for the most part,
even if you are though, I mean, yeah,
you still have to make music.
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, at the very least, you have to sound professional, and you still have to have that aspect of it. You can't put out garbage like sounding, even if it is like a mumble rap thing. If the quality of it doesn't sound there, and it's not your ad libs aren't on point, or whatever it may be, you still have to be professional in your craft, and it will still
absolutely
make it work.
And I mean, look, we all think some music sucks. It is what it is, but no point. And that energy does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. Like, it's just a waste of some energy. Might as well just be like, it's not what I listen to. I guess. So I wanted to get into that. I also wanted to get into I was listening to your project. I like the new project a lot. I do. I listened to a lot of the old stuff too before. Like I remember when we did our first show. When you did the toy drive,
yeah,
and that was a year ago, and we're coming up on the next toy drive, so that was a year ago was when you did that show, and I remember Piano Therapy listening to that because that's my biggest song. Yeah, that's your biggest song. That song's dope though. I like that song a lot. Yeah. Really like that vibe. I love those like piano hip hop beats. Like that's the shit.
That was the first beat that Jadi ever sent me.
Really?
And actually, he sent me. So I found him on SoundCloud, just randomly. I was I'm looking for producers. Found him. This guy had less than 100 followers, and I was saw his beats and said, "This is crazy.
Cool. That's dope.
He's nasty." And I was so I just messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, I'd love to rap over some of your beats." And he got back to me. He's like, "Actually, my beats aren't for rapping on. He's like, they're just for listening to, kind of like pretentious." There's a lot of people in that jazzy hip hop vibe that don't think that lyrics have room for it, in that, but. So I was like, okay, that's fine, man. Can you send me the MP3 so I could just listen to it? I really didn't have intentions to write to it, and then one day, I just had the feeling to write, and that beat came on, and that's the most organic song I've ever had. Right. I wrote that in less than an hour. I've never done that.
Those are the ones that usually pop off, the ones that take the shortest amount of time.
Yep. I mean, and it makes sense because it was really does. It was the most organic thing. That's why I call it Piano Therapy because the beat literally brought it out of me, and it felt like I was. I felt better after it. So I was like, that was Piano Therapy. And I sent it to him, and I was like, I know that your songs don't, have rap, but what do you think? And he got back to me. He was like, that's dope, man. He was like, anytime you want to beat. So he's done a bunch of my beats since then.
See, I'm glad we went back into this because this is abnormal to the normal. I mean, I would say it's abnormal to the typical rapper or local rapper, kind of is that a lot of times that meeting a producer online thing is usually they met the dude with 30,000 followers or something a huge dude. Yeah. It sounds like you actually obviously you haven't met this guy. Yeah. But you organically messaged him and he messaged you back and you actually spoke and so it's not one of those you just bought it off their website. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Which happens all the time. Yeah. And, dude, the Panda designer, he bought that $200 off the guy from it was a YouTube beat same shit. That's the number one record.
I feel stupid. Holy fuck! That Game of Thrones episode. Dude, am I a fan now? Am I a fan? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But that was entertaining. That was highly entertaining. Jon Snow. Shout out to what? It's like. I'm not gonna say it, but I mean, I feel like most people have seen it. I won't spoil it. No spoilers here. But yeah, fucking dragons, bro. Shit's real. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode.
As you could see, that conversation did get cut off in the middle of it. But there was some cool stuff in there. You really should check out his music. Azmattic, his stuff's awesome. The featured song of the week is by him. It's called Shiki no Ata. I think I pronounced that right. I don't. It's something like that. I don't know, but it's dope. It's real 90s, real boom bap bastic, boom bap 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 bap. Yep. So I'm still getting over my cold, like I was talking about earlier, and I've been having some hottie toddies, so I'm feeling good. Who knows what those are all about, huh? Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna have a fun episode next week. Hopefully, all the episodes will be fun. But I got some fun stuff planned. We'll be in Iowa City tomorrow. Yeah. And so I'm excited about that. And once again, if you're in Chicago this Sunday, December 10th, come to the Toy Drive. It's going to be a freaking blast. All right, I appreciate all the support. Please subscribe. One love. Listen to Azmattic right now. Peace.
Love to start my day with the view and some coffee. The subtle jazz in the background killing me softly. The toll is costly, but the road I'm heading down is awfully mandatory. In the end, they say there's fame and glory, so I'ma stick it out like a branch on a tree. You never heard of me, well baby, that's absurd. You see these other rappers urgently are trying to keep diversion. Yeah, your time away from essence, but the presence be the first to breathe. So inhale deep, and know your mind is just a muscle, so it's time to make it think. And turning 25 is making me afraid to even blink. And now I'm turning toward this chapter where I rarely ever drink. Weird, I know, but I'm focused on the flow, and nothing more can make me go than a cup of Joe and Puff Dro. Yeah, I heard that, you know I bring the verbs back. Kill it since the first track, Kanye, where my verse at?
Looking so elegant, no functions like she's celibate. Trust me though, we can sit in, party it in, 5 a.m. Hit the bed, wake up, do it again. This the life that I told, only one that I know. Now will she roll? Know me since way back before. Oh I know. Now this life is so much more than we ever could have thought. You got the dice, baby, let's roll. Baby, let's roll. Let's roll. Always on the road. I'm scared, and your friends tell you be wet. Fuck that shit, I got you, girl, I need you to know it won't ever be the same. Get you out that right lane, speed it up. Ooh, we stand at that tight frame. I'ma need you to explain what you hesitate for. Feel the vibe, oh I know you want it so. Oh I'll show you so much more. Take you where you wanna go, shawty where you wanna go. And you know I'm from the go. Rap that shit until I'm ghost. And this music got me hooked, like I'm about to overdose. And my schedule is booked, I ain't got no time for hoes. Please believe me, you the one I'm looking for. It's the life that I chose, only one that I know. Now will she roll? Know me since way back before. Oh I know. Now this life is so much more than we ever could have thought. You got the dice, baby, let's roll. Baby, let's roll. Those nines, oh you got me mesmerized, and I can see it in your eyes. Oh now you down to ride, baby, no more hesitation. I can see our destination, I see your dedication. Baby, you my motivation. Oh, and you a star in the making, so we a constellation. We got no limitations, every night a celebration. Lighting up that medication, got you tripping like vacation in the clouds where I've been staying. Oh, this the life that I chose. Baby, are you down the road? Are you down the road? I said, this the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. You got the dice, baby, let's roll. The dice, baby, let's roll. Oh, this the life that I chose. Only one that I know. Now will she roll? Know me since way back before. Oh I know. Now this life is so much more than we ever could have thought. You got the dice, baby, let's roll. Baby, let's roll. Baby, let's roll. Venice Beach. Go like this. I've been looking at you. Work, 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 like he got something to prove. I know you see me too, shawty, what you won't do. Can you come my way, one hit, I'll show you all I need. One hit, all I need. All I need. All I need. Baddest you can see, all I need is one hit. She dope, I'm a fiend, all I need is one hit. Oh, she gave me that look. I'm coming, girl, the glance is all it took. Body like an hourglass. Keep moving, grooving. Now the hours pass. No dancing, girl, now I'm trying to smash. Ooh, wee, she on the reread, telling me I gotta work, trying to be my feet. Shawty after tonight, you won't ever see me. Nature of the game, one hit, then I'm getting on a plane. One hit. I'm about to catch a plane, shawty roll to Mary Jane. Baby, won't you come my way? Hey, one hit, she don't want to stay. Slick pimpin' with the game. Ooh, she call me OJ when I kill it. Don't you know I got the juice? Zoning when I'm in it. Not one bottle, had a few. Yeah, I'm zoning. You keep doing what you do, girl. I love the way you move. Hey, I've been looking at you. Work, 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 like you got something to prove. I know you see me too, shawty, what you won't do. Baby, come my way, one hit, I'll show you all I need. All I need. All I need. All I need. Baddest you can see, all I need is one hit. Girl, you dope, I'm a fiend, all I need is one hit. Thank you for rocking out. All right, Venice Beach, baby.